Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with the latest on a deadly crash on the QEW in St. Catharines, which we've been covering here all day for you. 2 people died, and tonight 2 others are fighting for their lives in hospital. The crash happened around 4 a.m., but the cleanup job is extensive. In fact, all Niagara-bound lanes are still closed at this hour. Let's take a live look right now at the scene through our compass cameras. As you can see, the traffic is still moving. It's actually not moving too badly right now, but it's basically being rerouted off the highway right there at Martindale Avenue. The rest of the QEW in the Niagara-bound lanes appears to be shut down for the cleanup. Loran Sabrin is at the crash scene for us right now, joins us now live with more on what's happening there. Hi, Loran.
Yeah, hi, Nick. A 53-year-old Hamilton man, the driver of an Air Liquide tanker, was killed, along with a 20-year-old from Brampton, who was a passenger in the car. This is what the crash scene looked like this morning. Wreckage and debris across all 6 lanes of the QEW between 7th Street and the 406. It all started about 4 this morning when this Mitsubishi collided with a BMW in the Fort Erie-bound lanes. A transport truck carrying steel coils slammed into the Mitsubishi. The truck swerved into the Jersey barrier. The flatbed detached. It flipped upside down in the Toronto-bound lanes. The steel coils went rolling. One of the coils smashed into the cab of this Air Liquide tanker traveling in the oncoming lane. The cab was destroyed, the driver in critical condition when he was pulled out. He was rushed to Hamilton General but pronounced dead hours later. The 20-year-old front seat passenger of the Mitsubishi, a man from Brampton, was killed instantly. The driver and other passenger in the car are in critical condition. The driver of the steel coil truck suffered minor injuries. 2 of the injured remain in St. Catharines General. When the steel coil truck flipped over, a light standard was severely damaged. Now, when this huge light standard was hit by the truck, its bolts were loosened at its base, making it extremely dangerous. That's why the OPP collision reconstruction team had to wait before they could begin their work. The Fort Erie-bound lanes of the highway were closed until 3 this afternoon. The Toronto-bound lanes were chewed up by the rolling steel coils. The lanes needed to be stripped and repaved. Now, the paving is continuing behind me, and they're making pretty good progress. But the latest report is that the Toronto-bound lanes of the QEW won't reopen until at least midnight. Nick?
All right, that's another 6 hours to go. Thanks a lot, Loran Sabrin, live tonight on the QEW for us. So let's take another look right now at the compass cameras and the traffic situation there. And as you can see, it looks clear, but it's deceiving because, in fact, of the cleanup and what's going on beyond this point here. This is QEW at Martindale Road. This is closer to Ontario Street now, where you can see a backup is beginning. These traffic tie-ups, they go beyond the highways, of course, areas in and around the highway and at the 406. They have been moving slowly throughout the day now. Errol McCaffrey, by the way, she's keeping an eye on the traffic situation as well. She joins us now live with more on that side of the story tonight. Hi, Errol.
Hi, Nick. Now, the crash caused some major traffic tie-ups here in St. Catharines today. Actually, many drivers chose some alternate routes to avoid the QEW altogether. Now, it took us about half an hour just to get from Port Dalhousie to the scene of the crash here. It was also very backed up at the North Service Road and 7th Street. Some people say they were inside their cars for hours today just to move a few blocks.
Well, I think I've been here almost an hour to go 2 kilometers, but it looks like a terrible thing that happened back there, so I'm really sorry for that.
Saw some wreckage, a couple of transport trucks and a car, but that's about it.
Now I'm heading back to my office or to home, but still more than an hour stuck in this kind of traffic, so really I don't know what's going on.
I crossed the bridge 2 hours ago, so I'm headed to Detroit.
Now, the Niagara-bound lanes of the QEW have reopened, but the OPP say the Toronto-bound lanes of the QEW from 7th Street to Highway 406 will be closed until midnight. So you're going to have to wait a little while to see this all wrap up. I'll throw it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Errol.